All right, William, you got 15 seconds. Go.
Oh god. Okay, so we got these nice little bowls here, like I showed you. We got this tiny bowl that's good for snacks. Oh god. Like little
10,
chocolate
9,
grams.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Ah! Dang it! Now there's chocolate 10 grams.
Let's try the 10 grams all over your couch now. I hope you didn't eat those.
Bowl.
Yeah. I'll put them in a bowl. See, you can put them from one bowl to another. Gosh.
You like these?
Yeah, pretty good actually. Okay. Sweet. We're getting all this in, by the way. So it's funny. Love it. Not too bad. Alright, we're gonna keep on going with the New Year's 6 bowls. And this is the first time I've ever seen a New Year's 6 bowl not on December 30th or 31st, January 1st. December 29th, we have the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, which I don't care if Jerry World is so nice, AT&T Stadium or whatever. Play at the Cotton Bowl.
Please.
It's called the Cotton Bowl
for a reason.
Like, why'd you move this? It's number 8 USC versus number 5 Ohio State. A lot of people say Ohio State got snubbed. Again, you can't give up 55 points to an unranked team, I think. But still, Sam Darnold, he's been up and down times this year. This might be his last game. This might not be his last game. We don't know. But then you got Ronald Jones II in the backfield. He's good at running. Ohio State, JT Barrett's going to come out, and I think this is finally going to be his last game. Yeah, it seems like he's been there for 18 years.
The Perry Ellis of college football.
Yes. You have J.K. Dobbins as well, at running back as well. So it's going to be a good game, I think. I just think Ohio State's going to get by just quick because Sam Darnold's made some stupid decisions, and JT Barrett's been a little bit smarter, and he's been here for a lot longer. So I think Ohio State's going to win this game barely.
I disagree with you on that one. I think Southern Cal is going to come out behind the arm of Sam Darnold, future NFL star. He will come out and he will win this game, and also with the running back Jones, they're going to run all over this Ohio State defense. I think JT Barrett has been, his numbers suggest he's been very good and underrated this year, but I don't care how long he's been in Ohio State, I don't believe in him. And I think Southern Cal is going to come out and win this game.
I need the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl between number 11 Washington and number 9 Penn State. I didn't know Washington was that good until this game got announced.
All right, either.
Like, I think they lost 2 games early in the season, then they didn't lose again.
And they destroyed Wazoo in the Apple Cup.
Yeah, that could be one. They were kind of on the radar. Myles Gaskin, this is his final game for him. He's had 1,200 plus yards in 3 straight seasons, so that's fantastic. You have Saquon Barkley, who Heisman campaign looked great, and in 2 straight games we had like 60 yards rushing.
It all went downhill from there.
And Penn State's also lost their offensive coordinator, Joe Moorhead, who's now coaching at Mississippi State. So it's going to be interesting to see how the offense goes. I think Penn State's going to win just because they have more players that I know that are good than Washington. This is based on what I'm thinking. I don't know anything about Washington, except they have a good D lineman, according to ESPN. But other than that, I think Penn State's going to win this one. It'll be a good game, I think, though.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Penn State's going to win this game behind Saquon Barkley and quarterback Trace McSorley.
Yes.
I think they're going to win this game behind them too. James Franklin. Love James Franklin. Loved him at Vanderbilt. Loved him at Penn State. I think he's done a fantastic job up there. And after losing the Rose Bowl last year, they will avenge that loss and get a bowl win this year.
All right, in the Capital One Orange Bowl, another home game. Miami taking on Wisconsin. And Miami, the last 2 games of the year has not looked good. There's been a little doubt creeping into Miami fans. They played Pitt, and Terry Rozier got benched against Pitt. And against Clemson, they didn't score till late in that game. Final game.
Got dominated.
Yeah, they still have Travis Homer, who's pretty good, and Rozier could be good. And then you have Wisconsin, who's been a weird team, which they've been winning all the games except for, of course, the Big Ten title game. But they just haven't looked great.
No.
They've just, your stereotypical Wisconsin team of slow O-line is going to get to the second level and run, and then defensively they just get stops. It's not sexy, it's not pretty, but I think, and they've had a lot of injuries too. But here's the thing, they can get those injured players back, and a lot of people have said the only reason Clemson dominated that game is because they were just bigger than Miami's injured players, or injured players because Miami had so many injuries as well. They're just knocking them off the ball. I think Wisconsin did the same thing. Wisconsin's going to win this game. Not as bad as Clemson did because Wisconsin's kind of slow, and Miami will use that speed to their advantage. But I think Wisconsin's going to just barely get by Miami in this game.
You know, you said Wisconsin's offense is not sexy, but you know what is sexy? Their quarterback, Alex Hornibrook. Yeah, that brewed in my mind ever since you said that. But anyway, I think Miami's going to win this game. I think Miami's going to come out and beat this Wisconsin team who has not been tested all season, and the one time they were tested, they got beat. I think they're going to come out and win this game behind Rozier. Rozier has looked shaky all season in spots, and like you said, he got benched against Pitt, but I think he comes out and has a good game. And the turnover chain. This defense, I mean, they didn't do such a good job against Clemson, obviously, because they got dismantled. But I think the turnover chain makes an appearance at least 3 times in this game, and Miami takes the win.
All right, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, number 12 UCF, number 7 Auburn. Key story of UCF, Scott Frost, Coach of the Year, took them from 0-12 2 years ago to 12-0. They should be in the playoff, I think.
How does that happen? That's crazy.
It's insane. And then Scott Frost said he's going to keep his entire staff there for this game. And they're going to leave right after this game and go to Nebraska, of course. We have Mackenzie Milton. It's great. Then you have Shaquille Griffin. One hand. The man has one hand. And he is American Conference Defensive Player of the Year. That's insane.
Amazing.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, I get he plays in a Group of 5 conference. It doesn't matter. Like, go there with one hand and try to knock a ball out and not try to get a fumble recovery or an interception.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Okay.
Like, UCF is good. But the schedule, of course, everybody talks about the schedule. They didn't play any like for USF and some, like one other team. But nobody wants to schedule them because they're going to get beat. So, meanwhile, Auburn, start of the season rough. Jared Stidham got demolished against Clemson. And then they come up looking really good, knock off Georgia, knock off Bama. And you figure, man, this Auburn team's going to be dangerous when they get to the playoff. Only they didn't get to the playoff because they played Georgia in the championship. And Georgia showed why Auburn did not look so good in the beginning of the season. It's going to be interesting because if Gus Malzahn loses this game, all those feelings of everybody saying we need to fire Gus Malzahn could come back up. So I think Stidham's going to have a pretty good game because this is going to be not a top-notch. It's a good defense. It's not the top-notch defenses he's had to see every week. But I think UCF's going to win this game just because they just look really good. And I think UCF should play. Whoever wins the title game has to play UCF, and then we have a true champion. Because UCF will be 13-0.
I agree. I think UCF's going to win this game. Auburn definitely has looked good at this during the season at times behind Kerryon Johnson's a fantastic running back. And Stidham has looked good at times, but also, like we said, the beginning of the season was shaky. One went away from the college football playoff, and they couldn't do it, and it wasn't even close. So I think UCF comes out and is going to win this game and going to do the perfect season to the T. Perfection. Scott Frost hightails it to Nebraska. Hate to see him go, but at least he's keeping his whole staff, and I think they're going to want to create something special by going undefeated.
All right, you get the college football playoff. The first game is the Rose Bowl game. And it's weird there's no team from the West Coast really in this game this year because of the new playoff rules and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's still going to be a great game. Oklahoma and Georgia. The Heisman winner, Baker Mayfield, out there on their center. But here's what I said about Georgia. They have Nick Chubb and Sonny Michel. And they have Jake Fromm as the quarterback now. And they also got a backup in there who was the starter, got hurt, and they still recovered well. Mm-hmm. I think Georgia has a good shot. They have a lot. No one's talked about Georgia a lot. And everybody's assuming Georgia's going to lose to Oklahoma. That's what everybody's saying. Georgia can run the ball really well, and they can keep the ball away from you. And the Sooners can't run the ball that well. They have to throw it, which means they're not using up a lot of time, and they have the offense going. Plus, the defense is a Big 12 defense, so you're going to look at them saying they're not as well in pass coverage and such. So if the defense shows up, I think the Sooners could win really well. I think this is going to be one of those things where Baker Mayfield is going to come in clutch as he usually does. It's going to be a last-second drive. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Oklahoma's just going to win this game.
I agree with you. I think Oklahoma's going to win this game, but I think it's based on the fact that this game will be a shootout. It's going to be Oklahoma's offense versus Georgia's offense. Both high-powered offenses in different ways, with Baker Mayfield leading the passing attack and then Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, and DeAndre Swift leading the rushing attack for Georgia. But I think in a shootout, I'm taking Baker Mayfield. I'm taking Oklahoma Sooners. I think when it comes down to it, who's going to score more points? I think Baker Mayfield is going to do that, even though Georgia has a pretty good defense. He's the Heisman winner for a reason.
All right, then you have the rematch, part 3, the All-State Sugar Bowl. Number 4 Alabama, number 1 Clemson. This has been a great rivalry to watch over the past few years. Every single game has been great. No matter, I know you're a Carolina fan, I'm a Clemson fan. Even that game that Clemson lost, I thought was one of the best college football games I've ever seen.
Just pull out all the stops. I mean, the onside kick, it has everything.
Oh, yeah, totally. And last year, Hunter Renfrow, the walk-on, catching a pass with 1 second left.
The storyline, fantastic.
Yeah, that's insane. This year is going to be great to watch. But here's the thing I've noticed. The teams that have done well against Clemson on offense, Syracuse and NC State, those basically been the only 2 teams that have been really good on offense. Mm-hmm. They were able to get the ball off quick. They were able, you're going to throw it quick, and then you just open it up for a deep pass later. Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball that quick. I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good quarterback. He's one of those guys, he's going to have to wait a while before he throws it so he can get comfortable. Or he's going to just take it off and run. And, Clemson will let him take off and run. You saw it last year. It happened a lot, and he got some yards, and he even got a touchdown that put him up ahead in that game. But I think Clemson's defense, that defensive line has been playing out of their minds toward the end of the season. Cleveland Farrell, I think, is the best defensive lineman in the nation. I think Alabama, and plus Kelly Bryant, he doesn't have to be Deshaun Watson. They told him that. He don't have to be Deshaun Watson. He hasn't had to be Deshaun Watson this year, but he looked close to it against Miami, so he's been on a roll. I think Clemson's going to win this game just because of their defense. This one could be a mid-scoring game, like 28-21, something like that. I think Clemson's going to win this game, though.
I feel that. I'm with you on that. I think Clemson's going to win this game probably somewhere 28-21, maybe 35-28, maybe a little bit more. I think basically, just like you said, Clemson's defense, the front four is fantastic, and as you move on, it's not as good as the front four, but it's still fantastic. It's one of the best overall defenses in the nation. And I think that, like you said, Jalen Hurts, I like Jalen Hurts, but I said this on my radio show, Jalen Hurts is going to be one of the last quarterbacks out of the last 4. Him and Blake Sims, only quarterbacks out of the last 4 that will not win a national title as a starter at Alabama. I don't think it's going to happen. As long as Hurts is the starter, they'll get there, but they won't win it. But I think Clemson is going to take this game and will advance to the national championship game for the 3rd straight year.
All right, national championship, you got Clemson, Oklahoma. These two are familiar with each other. A few years ago, played in the Russell Athletic Bowl. You had Cole Stout playing for Deshaun Watson. Again, though, they're taking on, this was before Mayfield was a starter. Taking on, who's the big dude? Blake Bell. Blake Bell, star of Oklahoma.
Was a runner.
Yeah. Clemson, Cole Stout played the best game of his career at Clemson, and they won that game 34-17. The next year, playing the Orange Bowl, Deshaun Watson was Baker Mayfield. Clemson wins it. Was down 17-14, wins the game 38-17. And so many times they play each other, Clemson has been able to stop the offense and been able to pull away for wins. And I just think the same thing is going to happen here just because Oklahoma, I don't know anything about Oklahoma's rushing game. And it could beat Clemson, you have to be able to go with a good mix of rush and pass. If you watch Syracuse play against them, that's what they do. We go read option, then over in a quick slant, then a deep pass. And it worked. I don't think Oklahoma can run the ball as well. And so I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a high-scoring game because it's just Baker Mayfield's going to be able to do that. And the Clemson secondary has been kind of banged up all season. But I think it's just going to be one big play. It's going to have to be made by Clemson's defense. I think they're going to make it. I think Clemson's going to win the national championship. I'm going to say like 38-31. A really high-scoring game and a really good game. Another instant classic. But I think Clemson goes 2 straight years as national champions.
I would agree with you on the score, but like I said against Georgia, in a shootout, I'm taking Baker Mayfield just to not go against my word. I think this game will be 41-38, something along those lines. Somebody will kick a field goal here and there. But I think Baker Mayfield, against this fantastic defense, don't get me wrong, the front four will get their pressure. They're going to get to Baker Mayfield. But I think that as it gets deeper in the secondary, Baker Mayfield will make enough plays to win this game. And I think that, like the stats have shown with Kelly Bryant coming down the stretch, Kelly Bryant on throws of over 15 yards is a little shaky. If Oklahoma's defense can take away the short game and force him to throw downfield, they might can force a turnover that can change the tide for the offense and give Oklahoma the edge. So I think Oklahoma will win in a close game, close high-scoring game.
You want to one extra pick? You wanted the FCS National Championship?
Yeah.
Let's do it. James Madison at North Dakota State. Now, I go Gardner-Webb as FCS, and we did not have a great season at all. But I've seen these FCS teams a lot. And I can tell you this, James Madison and North Dakota State are the best teams in the FCS. Yes. They met last year in the semifinals, and James Madison knocked them off on the road in the Fargo Dome to get to the title and knocked off Youngstown State. James Madison's won something like 26 straight games this year. coming in this year. The only loss was like their first game last year against North Carolina. They rolled over East Carolina. They had a scare against Weber State in the playoffs, had a scare against Richmond in the season. Other than that, it looked good. North Dakota State, they just have one loss this year, I believe, to South Dakota State. But other than that, they look really good in these playoffs. They're not going to be in the Fargo, though. They're going to be in Frisco, Texas. It's going to be a great game. The two best teams in the nation at FCS are playing each other. It's just something about North Dakota State's defense. And I don't know if it's because they've been at home the entire playoffs or whatever. I think they're going to be able to stop James Madison. Because James Madison's defense has been fantastic, too. But whenever James Madison gets the ball, James Madison's offense has looked pretty bad in the playoffs at times this year. If James Madison can get the ball throwing, they'll be great. But North Dakota State can run the ball and keep the ball away. I think North Dakota State is going to play keep away the entire game, and that's how they're going to win. It's going to be probably a low-scoring game, like 21-17 around that area. I'm going to give North Dakota State the Bison get the win.
I'm going to agree with you. I think North Dakota State is going to retake their spot at the top that they've had for so many years. They will knock off James Madison, the defending national champions, behind their running game. I think their running game is superior to anybody else's in the FCS, and I believe that they will run all over this James Madison defense. It will be a close game. James Madison's defense is good, but I think that North Dakota State's running game will do enough and maybe get the one play that they need, the one big 50-yard touchdown run that they need to win this game.
All right, well, thank you for watching. Enjoy your bowl games this year. Enjoy your bowls of snacks that you have at these bowl games this year. It's going to be a great bowl season, and I can't believe you called it on the first try. It's going to be a great bowl season, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. And thank you for watching.